All right, we live, man. We live with another episode of Off the Bench podcast, man. And all the new people that's tuning in and all the people that's, been following us. Y'all go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe if you're new tuning in. This is a new episode of Off the Bench podcast. It is Sunday night football. Sunday, a lot of good games was on today. Week 9 of the NFL. A lot of star-studding matchups, a lot of close games, a lot of upsets, and all type of things went on in the NFL. We're gonna hop right into it. We had the Cincinnati Bengals playing against the Buffalo Bills. Uh, Last game, the primetime game. Right now, the Cincinnati Bengals it look like they about to go ahead and close them out. The score is 24-10, if I'm not mistaken, with fourth quarter about 7 minutes left to play. Uh, Joe Burrow, these past couple weeks, he been looking like the Joe Burrow of, the last couple years that we've been expecting from the team that went to the AFC Championship, team that went to the Super Bowl. It seemed like this offense starting to get clicking now. What you took from this game today, was make the Cincinnati Bengals so dynamic on offense.
I mean, not really too much. I mean, Jamar Chase is gonna be Jamar, even when he get held. The Bengals still gonna be a good team. They got probably the best wide receiving core in all the NFL. They had it the last few seasons, so I don't see why not. Joe Mixon is a top tier running back in the NFL, and I don't. I mean, the Bills they got a lot of injuries right now, so I can't really say too much about them. They got a lot of injuries in the secondary linebacking core. They really a banged up team, and they was doing a good job against the Bengals. I don't really waver what I feel about the Bills. The Bengals, I did think they would win this game because they always find a way to beat the Bills. I think they would have beat them if Damar Hamlin didn't get hurt the first time they played each other. They beat each other. They beat them in the playoffs that same season. Beat them this year. I just think they're a better team, and it's really not even just their offense. It's just completely how good of a team they are defensively, stopping the Bills as many times as they did, getting stops. That's what I look forward to. That's what I look to because the Bengals not gonna score 1,000 points to beat teams. If you can hold defense and that's what they did tonight. That's what they did in the playoffs, and they went to the Super Bowl, and that's what they're gonna have to keep doing to keep climbing up this AFC ladder.
Yeah, I like what I've been seeing from the Cincinnati Bengals, especially these past previous 2 weeks. Just seemed like Joe Burrow has finally, starting to get it going a little bit. He came into the season with a calf injury, what kind of derailed and kind of took a hit on their offense a little bit, and he played a big role in that. Now that Joe Shiesty, he's kind of back and looking back in MVP form and looking to regain that trust back within his offense, was within Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase kind of called him out after that. I'm always open, and after that, Jamar Chase kind of turned it on this offense, started ramping up. This game, I really didn't take too much from the Cincinnati Bengals because I think the Bengals have showed us who they are these past couple years with Joe Shiesty being the starting quarterback with the receiving group that he has over there with Joe Mixon. And I just think the defense really but been stepping up all year for him. They've been making plays. They've been holding down the fort until the offense started picking up. The defense had won them a lot of games up until this point. But I was more so just looking at it from the Bills' perspective. I was looking for the Bills to finally get a momentum game, a big win over a big team. I know they got the win over Miami Dolphins, but Miami Dolphins haven't beat one of those top tier premier teams either. So I really don't. I took that with a grain of salt, and just to come out to lose and kind of like almost in a dominating fashion, putting up 10 points. You scoring your first drive, and it was hard, and you haven't got back in the red zone since the first drive, and that was the first drive of the game for the Buffalo Bills. you know, I know Josh Allen, he was banged up and things of that nature, but I think we got to give a lot of credit to the Cincinnati Bengals defense. They held uh Stephon Diggs, who been killing everybody, killing the defenses, and they held him to 5 receptions and to under 40 yards. And I think so. Yeah, I think Cincinnati Bengals, they did exactly what I expect them to do. Even though they started off slow in the season, they starting to pick it back up, starting to show that they are a formidable team in the AFC. And these were just one of these games that the Buffalo Bills, once again, that I'm looking for. Like, when is they gonna finally show that they here? The dominance that I've been expecting from them for these last couple of years. for them just to come up so short year after year after year, time after time after time. This is one of these games that I'm thinking they finna put their foot down, come out and make a statement.
I mean, realistically, they're hurt. I mean, they couldn't compete with them. They hurt. I mean, the last few years, and I agree. As a Chiefs fan, as a guy who hold them up to that pedestal, they should be a top tier elite team. This year, they just hurt. I look at that Jets loss, that first loss of the year, terrible loss. But the Jets defense is elite. I look at that Dolphins game, I take a lot from it because the number one offense in the NFL, they made the Dolphins look like nobodies. They scored 48 points, 50 points on still a top three team in AFC record wise. Still to this day, they still got a better record than the Bills. These games like this is just so hard for them to win because they already is behind the eight ball so hard. They they Micah Hyde went out today, Matt Milano, Tre'Davious White. They haven't been playing for the last few weeks. That's them. Those are all pro like positional players on defense. And again, this is a game where prime time 7 o'clock. Everybody watching. You want this game, but realistically, the Bengals they've been rolling, and the Bills. I'm not saying that they're not a great team, but I just think they hit the injury bug at the wrong time,
Who
and
injured on offense for them?
nobody.
So that shouldn't deter them from putting up points.
Josh Allen, you did say you banged up. You've been banged up for a few weeks, and the offense is really just Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, and Dawson Knox. That's their tight end. He is hurt. They got a rookie starting, Kincaid, who caused that turnover when they was moving when they got the first down. So it's not like they ain't like they was looking bad either. They was right there in the game. That fumble fucked them up, and then I think they had another play that didn't go their way. But it's just I don't know, bro. I like the Bills. They may not even make the playoffs though, because they lose a few more games where they're supposed to win, and we looking at a team that's in the wild card, probably not even making the playoffs, which is crazy to say, but injuries is definitely holding this team back from how good they can be. And I know they can be a good team, but I just don't know if we're gonna see that team, that version this year. We 9 weeks in and we ain't seen it yet. So that was like realistically, I don't know if we gonna see
We might
elite.
not ever see it. And then it's been what 3 years this team been together with Stephon and all these guys. Von Miller, this is what second year on the defensive side of the ball. Micah Hyde been
He was
there,
hurt last year too.
but that's what I'm saying. So we might not ever be able to see this team at full health, full strength. It's always a nagging injury, a thing of that nature would kind of
But the
deter
thing,
them.
and the respect I give to them, cause it's a lot of teams like that in sports. No team go as far as they go. Like we look at the Clippers, even the Chargers. They have a great roster. They always got good teams. They don't. They ain't never made it. They ain't never sniffed the AFC Championship game. Even though the Bills did lose in overtime in heartbreaking fashion, the Chargers ain't never sniffed the AFC Championship. There's only a few teams really since 2015 who sniffed the AFC Championship had a chance to even go to it. And the Bills, they always been one of those teams. I do think this is the last year to see that team be as good as it can be. I do think going forward, they took a step back. I think next year going into next season, I probably had the Dolphins over them, the Jaguars, younger teams who's getting better, who's gonna be getting better. That's an old team over there, bro. Bills, that's an old team over there. Von Miller, one of their key guys defensively. He coming off a season-ending injury last year. He still being asked to be one of their top guys. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard over there, man. Shout
Yeah,
out to Buffalo Bills fans. It's hard over there. I don't sympathize with y'all because we send lovely, but damn, that's I know it's tough.
yeah, man. And like for the Bengals, bro, like the Bengals these past couple weeks, the offense been humming. Joe Shiesty been humming. Uh, they did this game today mostly without Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase had 3, 4 receptions today for like 40 some yards, and they still managed to win the game by they up right now by 17 points, three score game. And this what the Cincinnati Bengals, that's what they've been representing ever since Joe Shiesty came. And like, a lot of people kind of wrote them off early in the season. Joe Shiesty, he was banged up. And like just to see like the trend over these past couple weeks as Joe Shiesty been getting healthier and healthier and healthier, you seeing how formidable that this Cincinnati Bengals team is. And I just got to give them their praise and they and they credit, for sticking through it. That defense keeping holding them down. So they didn't see the adversity, they didn't see the other side of the fence, and now they were ready to put everything together. And I feel like this is the perfect time, being week 9. You know, you go into you beat a playoff team, an AFC, rival or whatever you want to call it, another good team that's got the same aspirations as you, and you go and put a hurting on them. I think there's 3 weeks in a row where I think they confidence building up, and I think they're gonna be a hard team to beat. In these next couple of weeks, man. But next we got the Eagles. Eagles beating the Cowboys in a close one, 28-23. Jalen Hurts, he was 17-23, 207 yards, 2 touchdowns, very clean game. AJ Brown, seven receptions, 66 yards with a touchdown. Ended his streak of six or 8 weeks of 125 plus yards. Dak, he was 29-44, 374 yards, 3 touchdowns. CD, 11 receptions, 191. Takeaways from this game.
Amazing game from the Cowboys. Again, another team injury bug defense. If they had Trevon Diggs, I'm still harping on that because stand on everything I said from week 1 about all these teams, and I'm not trying to do a victory lap because it's only week 9. The Cowboys could beat any given team any given week. They are gonna be in it. That defense is elite enough, and that's what I was saying. The difference between them and a team like the Dolphins from then and now. Dolphins, they was only offense. If the offense not going, it's not gonna really be too many ways for them to win. Did we seen the Cowboys win games where defense scored more points than offense, and the offense, had a field day. Today was a game where they could have won. The Eagles are the best team in NFL record wise. They still have only lost one game. Number one team in NFC. Team division rival game on the road and only lose by 5 points. And they had a touchdown taken away when they put it short at the one. They end up getting that touchdown. Dak Prescott ran in for the 2 point conversion. He was called short out of bounds, so they didn't get that those 2 points right there. And they still was only 3 yards. Dak threw it 3 yards shorter of the goal of the end zone. He threw it 3 more yards because CD did the break perfect in time. 3 yards short of scoring and winning this game. Eagles, it's not a bad game. Not a bad game. Jalen Hurts, not a bad game. Really a good game. Efficient. Devontae Smith, he's looking like he's becoming more of Smitty, the Smitty that we expected coming out of Bama. AJ Brown, I didn't expect him to have 130 against the Cowboys just because I knew they were going to try to take him away. For him to still get a touchdown, though, is crazy because the attention, it had to be all on him. But this just shows you how good of a team the Eagles are. They just keep winning, and it don't matter if it's ugly, cute. They just want to win. Jalen Hurts is a quarterback. He just want to win. I love Jalen Hurts' mentality. I love how unselfish he is. I just love everything about this guy, this young kid growing. And he's just gonna be an elite quarterback in this league in like 3 to 4 years. Probably be talking about as the best quarterback in the NFL because it's really no ceiling to how good he really can get. And once he do untap all that potential, because his dual threat ability is just second to none. He can lead. He can lead the team in rushing. Obviously, he's gonna lead the team in passing because he's a quarterback. But he can the team in passing and rushing, and be able to take hits from guys who's bigger than him, stronger than him, whatever the case may be. I just love this Eagles team. But if I'm a Cowboys fan, which I'm not, but I wouldn't take too much after the loss. We got them again later in the season at home. We know we seen what we had to do a little bit to have success. Let's just do it again, and we'll be at home. We have home field advantage, and I like where the Cowboys season is going from here on out. Eagles looking like they only gonna lose like 3 games again.
That was probably one of the takeaways that I took from this game, that Jalen Hurts, he played a very clean game, no interceptions, no fumbles. I think that's probably was one of the main reasons why the Eagles end up winning this game. Yet it was a one score ball game. If Jalen Hurts had to, be basically perfect, if he got an interception or he got a turnover, who knows how this ball game would have played out or ended. AJ Brown, he had 7 receptions, 66 yards. His 7 receptions was very, effective. It wasn't the usual, nine for 130 or 11 for 150. But his 7 receptions, 66 yards. You felt those 66 yards and those 7 receptions, end up getting a touchdown out of that. In this game right here, the Cowboys. I'm gonna give the Cowboys a lot of credit because they did put themselves in a position to win the ball game. Uh, they basically in every statistical category they outplayed the Philadelphia Eagles, and they had more total yards, had more passing yards. They had more first downs. It was just that the game came down to what a lot of these games come down to when you play a high level, another high level team. It's gonna come down to third down and turnovers. And obviously the Eagles they won a third down battle. They was 50% on third down, which the Cowboys they was 6 to 15, so around like 30, the early 40% range. And that was the difference in the ball game. Like I said, you got more total yards, more pass yards, more first downs, and Dak had more pass yards. He would. I feel like this one of Dak's best
Yeah,
games,
it was. He
but
played. Yeah, he that did his thing. He should be really no slander on him tomorrow. Really no time this week. He's been playing good. He's been playing great ball. He's definitely been raising my. Today was a great game. CD Lamb, top 10 receiver. I'm gonna keep saying it until y'all give him respect. He's a top 10 receiver in the NFL. Don't care what the numbers say. Don't care if he ain't got enough touchdowns, yards, whatever. Him talent for talent, player for player. You can't name me 10 receivers better than CD Lamb, and he's only gonna get better. He's only into like year 3 of his long NFL career. Give me CD Lamb. Almost 9 yards away from 200 is crazy. 9 yards away from 200 on 11 catches. CD Lamb. Oh my gosh, bro! If they had another receiver who could catch the ball, who could do a little bit of something, you know, CD Lamb probably be having about 225 a game. You gotta be getting about 225, 250 a game like this. But all the attention is going to him, and to still be beating double teams at this young of his career, I'm loving what I'm seeing from CD Lamb. I'm loving it.
But yeah, that's what the ball game had came down to was the third down. You have to be able to get off and put your offense back on the field or get your defense off the field. And the Dallas Cowboys they weren't able to do that. They weren't able to keep drives alive to to keep the ball extended. To control the tempo of the game, to control the time of possession, and things of that nature. And I think that's what it came down to. But this Eagles secondary, well, before I get to that, this Eagles defense as a whole, their front four, we know what they is. We don't got to keep harping on them. We know how elite and how dominant that front seven with that linebacker core with the Eagles. But I just feel like, moving forward, the Eagles are finding ways to win, which is a good thing because they facing the adversity. They've going, not playoff games, but playoff atmosphere type games where, they pulling off these one score games. They pulling off, these knit and grit games. They finding ways to win, which I think will help them come playoff time. Whenever it's time to where games slow down, is less snaps and things of that nature. But I just think the one main thing of concern for the Philadelphia Eagles is their secondary. Within the past 5 weeks, the Eagles secondary had gave up at least 325 total yards, and they've been giving up 250 pass yards the last 5 weeks. Which not gonna be able to get it done. You played the Commanders twice, you played the Cowboys today, and they played the Patriots and somebody else. Those, that should be strap season. That front four, they holding down the run defense. Just that the secondary been letting them down, and I just feel like that might be able to come back and bite them in the butt. Because they did went to the Super Bowl last year. I know they trying to come back with vengeance. Get back into the Super Bowl and hopefully get over that hump. But with your secondary playing like that, knowing now in the AFC, where the AFC is kind of like the Western Conference in the NBA, it's offensive heavy and got a lot of weapons over there. And I think your secondary gonna need to hold up in those higher up games, in those high potent moments. And that's probably the only thing that I'll say from the Eagles. But the Eagles, in terms of like my concern, but I just feel like they a good team. They steadily improving week to week, whether it's marginally or whether it's like exponentially better. Uh,
Yeah, I ain't got too much to say on the Eagles because I mean they keep winning. Been talking about them. Everybody they keep winning. They're not gonna lose, and not to keep it boring, but I mean they win every single way. Been saying it from week 1. None of their wins really has been like fascinatingly convincing, but they find ways. I'm more, I'm more satisfied with what I saw from the Cowboys today. Defense stepped up against the best team. Offense went out there. Dak Prescott put on his hard cap. I'm looking at this team and I'm high on them. I think they could beat the Dallas Cowboys. I mean the Philadelphia Eagles next time around, and I think they can sneak up and beat somebody this year in the playoffs. I'm not gonna lie. This Dallas Cowboys team is playing with a lot of confidence right now. After the bye week, put the beating on the Rams, lost today, but it was an encouraging loss to say the least. I like if I'm a Cowboys fan again, which I'm not. All you Cowboys fans out there, don't get too high on your horses, but it's
It was
looking
definitely
good.
a good measuring stick
It
game today.
definitely was. I like what I saw from y'all today.
But next game we got the Baltimore Ravens beating Seattle 37-7. Lamar Jackson with 21-26, 187 yards, very clean, efficient game. Mitchell had 9 carries, 138 yards, a touchdown. Mark Andrews 9 receptions, 80 yards. Gino was 13-28, 137, and an interception. Takeaways on the Baltimore Ravens and how they've been playing.
Looking like top three team in NFL in the AFC, should I say? To look like a top three team in the AFC. I'm liking how they looking. Run game is looking amazing. Lamar is looking as good as he's looked as a passer coming in, looking more under control from the pocket. And they don't. I mean, he don't lose to NFC teams. NFC is definitely a weaker conference compared to the AFC. Every time the Ravens, it seems like they play an NFC team, it's a blowout by halftime. Today was just another showing of that. Another MVP campaign for Lamar. Everybody was getting in on the fun. OBJ caught a birthday touchdown. I'm like what I'm seeing from him, but I don't really got much to say about the winning team. It's more be the losing team, the Seahawks. I'm looking at their wide receiving core. I was high on them coming in. DK Metcalf, who is should be at his prime moments, I would say, year 4, year 5 in the NFL. Tyler Lockett, vet, obviously, and they got a young rookie, JSN, who really been non existent this season. I was high on him. It's a lot of rookies in this draft class that's making a lot of impressions and a lot of, real impactful plays for their team. You look at guys like Puka, you look at Tank Dell for the Texans, you look at I got a lot of listeners. You got Jaden Reed for the Packers. You got Zay Flowers for the Ravens, who he even, had a good game today. You look at all these guys, and JSN was the first one taken, and it's about 10 other wide receivers I'll probably take in the draft class over him. And to me, that's discouraging to see as a Ohio State fan, JSN fan. This is the Ravens. If he didn't have a good game today, but it would if it was just a game where you had bad against the Ravens, it'll be the Ravens because they got a good defensive team. Y'all didn't get no touchdown, so that's just tell you how type of game it was. But this is every week from at this point. This is like every week. Every week I'm seeing four receptions. If that, like at best, 4 reception, 34 yards at best. At on a minimum, I'm seeing a reception, 7 yards. Bro, you was a top 20 pick overall, the number one wide receiver. You Ohio State University, number one receiver with Garrett Wilson, who's striving. There's no way that Geno Smith got DK, Tyler Lockett, Jackson Smith, Kenneth Walker, who's a nice up and coming running back, who's gonna be a stud, and y'all don't manage to put up a touchdown. Y'all got 3 points. That's embarrassing for a team that in the NFC West, you probably gonna make the playoffs. You probably gonna make it because it's not that deep over there. You're gonna have a good record because NFC, you don't want to have these type of games because you go in the playoffs. If you look like this, you're not gonna make it far. You might as well just start losing now, so you don't got to go to the playoffs. There was a terrible loss, losing by 34. On national TV, they had to change games because y'all was getting whooped so bad. It's a bad showing for the Seahawks. Great game for the Ravens, putting belt to ass on all the NFC teams. NFC team got to step it up.
Yeah, man, this was Baltimore Ravens football, man, at its very finest, playing very efficient physical football, winning on both of the sides of the line of scrimmage. Lamar Jackson can't reap about him too much. He having an MVP type of caliber type of year. He had another game today, 21-26, very efficient, 187 yards. Um, but I just want to point on the Baltimore Ravens defense. The Baltimore Ravens, they got the number one defense in the NFL. They haven't allowed more than 20 points. In the nine games they played, only allowed 20 points once. In 9 weeks, they lead the NFL in sacks. Only allowed three rushing touchdowns in 9 games. They only allowed one touchdown per game. They got nine total. Their opponents got 9 total touchdowns. against them. So that defense is very, it's hard to score on that defense. It's hard to, get yards, to get completion. It's hard to do a lot of things on this Baltimore Ravens defense. And this how I expect them to look coming in. I said coming into the season, they going to the Super Bowl. Right now I feel they is the best team in the NFL. They're the best team in the AFC. If you had to ask me, they have better wins on their resume. They got better competition on their resume that they played against. I just think I feel like they should be 8-1 right now. We take away that Steelers game where they had 7 drops. You take away that game, we'll be 8-1 right now, sitting pretty. But the Baltimore Ravens very efficient, clean. That's what they cleaned up everything that the question marks for this team which is the wide receivers. It's the wide receivers week in, week out. Is Lamar gonna be able to depend on them to catch the ball? And that's really just gonna be the main thing going forward. Whenever we able to catch the ball and don't drop it, this is the outcome. We played against the Lions, so a lot of people in the Lions had them a top 2 team at that time. We played them in a division in a conference. Put hurting on them. Come back another week later, 2 weeks later, playing the Seahawks. That's in the division that a lot of people got going into the wild card. You know, type of picture, putting a hurting on them. These type of games that I like to see from the Baltimore Ravens. Keep playing physical, aggressive football. Keep winning at both the lines of the scrimmage, and just play to your strengths. Get the ball out of Lamar's hands quick. Run and pound the football. Mitchell, he had a good game today. 193 yards and a touchdown. He was running like a madman. Gus Edwards, very long, uh, agile and all those things. Hand the ball off. Let Lamar do his little runs and do all that. Short yardage, get it outside the numbers, physical and rely on that defense. And that was just another showing of that today. And I'm very proud of how the Baltimore Ravens been looking these past couple weeks. Ever since that Steelers game and when we had the drops, the offense been picking up slowly but surely. And week 9, that's exactly how we want to be right here. We going into week 10. What we 7-2? I can take that, man. I can take that. Uh that's all really I got on that game. Uh Next we got the Chiefs beating the Dolphins in a close one, 21-14. Pat Mahomes, he was 20 of 30, 185 yards, 2 touchdowns. Tua was 21 of 34, 193 touchdown. Tyreek Hill, every reception, 62 yards. Takeaways on that game, man.
Still the best team in the NFL. Besides the Eagles, got to give them their respect. 81 is fucking ridiculous. But second best team. Same thing you said with the Ravens. I think we could say the same thing. I think we could be 8-1 if week 1 Travis Kelsey didn't get hurt before practice. Chris Jones would have fucking played instead of just watching the game. And if Kadarius Toney didn't actively bet money against us that day and literally cost a pick 6, then we could be 8-1. With being 8-1, with being in 7-2, it's different. We were 6-2 going into this game. Both of our teams was Dolphins and the Chiefs, so it's a little different being 7-1 to 6-2. This was essentially for number 1 seed in the AFC. Essentially, how it's shaping up right now, points and everything, how it's looking. It was number 1, and what I just saw was the Chiefs just still is just the best team because it no matter what it takes, they're gonna find a way to win. Started off this game 21 points in the first half, held the Dolphins to 0. They first time being held scored 0 points in 2 seasons. Since before Mike McDaniel got there, since he got there, they were scoring at least every half. In every half, they were scoring some points. Held them to 0. Big accomplishment. They came back in the second half, started scoring the points. I knew they weren't gonna go. I knew they weren't gonna get shut out. And I knew the offense was gonna come. And even when it was coming, our offense wasn't going. Defense held it down. This Chiefs team is the best defensive roster that I've seen. It's really growing in front of my own eyes. I knew it would be good going into this year. No Nick Bolton. It didn't matter. It didn't even seem like he wasn't even out there because everybody was just flying around the ball. Our corners, our safeties. Chris Jones, he didn't even have like a great impactful day like he usually had, the sacks and stuff. I think he had a motherfucking me roughing the pass. I think he had a roughing the passer call would kept the drive going. But Chris, you are God. You are God. You got us off the field on one third down. This was an amazing game. I wish it was like the second half for the whole game because I wish it was more competitive. But the Dolphins, they're a tier two team for me. I think they can beat all the teams that don't have like elite defenses. I think if they play the Ravens, the Chiefs, and in the AFC, I'll probably say the Bengals and the Bills. I think they'll struggle with them. But any other team, I think they'll have their way with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think. Well, let me see playoff teams: Jaguars, them, and then whoever else be in the playoffs. Probably the Jets, which that'll probably be decent. I don't take too much away from the Dolphins either though. They exactly who I thought they was coming into this season, so I don't move them down. I don't look at them and be like, ha, not trying to clown them and nothing because I expected this. Not, I expected the game to be closer, but the fact that it was a one score game, that's what I expected. I didn't expect us to blow them out. I didn't expect them to come up and look like the number one offense. I expected this to be a dog fight between the number one offense and to me the number one team in NFL, and that's exactly what we saw. We saw offense. Both offenses are good. They both was looking stagnant. Defenses had to make plays and one defense just made more plays. The fumble on Tua on that last fourth down play when they were trying to get it going on that last drive really killed the drive. So that's why I say like I really respect the Dolphins because they are tier two team. They like the top of tier two teams for me. I do think they are like a piece or two or just a year, a year away when Tua gets you one more year because he still doesn't look like he understands and fully, understand the NFL, all the coverages and when to do things. And you feel me?
Hmm.
I think in a few years, I think in not even a few, just one. I just think Tua need one more year because if he didn't have that concussion last year, he would have had. I think the games would have made up because he would have had that whole year of experience. But he missed like 6, 7 games, damn near half the year. So I like this Dolphins team. I'm glad that we won. Amazing game, and the AFC is a loaded conference. The Dolphins is still gonna be a top seed because the Bills lost, but the Dolphins they are legit.
Yeah, one of the things that I took away from this game was both of the team defense very surprised me in this game for the simple fact that the Kansas City Chiefs offense they came out humming in the first half. Second half, it was very very stagnant. Very a lot of three and outs. A lot of holding them down. They didn't score in the second half. And obviously for the Kansas City Chiefs, holding the Miami Dolphins, to 14 points throughout the whole game. Miami Dolphins came in to this game averaging 30 points a game. So that just goes to show you what type of performance that the Kansas City Chiefs defense had put up. The defense has been what the Chiefs been hanging their hats on, and for a good reason. The defense haven't been letting them down. The offense it been slow. It been slow to pick up. It ain't been as explosive as we accustomed to seeing from the Kansas City Chiefs, which is okay. Now that we got a more stronger defense, a more compatible defense, to where we can go out there and withstand whatever the opposing defense to throw at our offense. We can be able to offset that from our defense, and you know, Tyreek Hill and Tua. Like you said with Tua, it's gonna probably take him a little bit more time to understand the game. It was a couple times like when he need to just scramble and he be sliding, taking you sliding and not getting no yardage. It's the same thing as a sack essentially. You sliding behind the line of scrimmage. You're not going for forward progress. Those are type of plays that that I'd be looking at. It was a touchdown pass to Wilson, underthrew him. I don't know if it slipped out his hands or what, but those are plays that can make define you as a player.
He had a wide open misread to Waddle, open for a touchdown that he literally just missed. Jalen Waddle was wide open, butt naked for a streaking touchdown, and he just missed him. But got the first down in that play. But he missed the seven. He missed six. He
And,
had him.
and it's crazy that they was marching the ball down the field to to end the game and things like that to potentially the score to go into overtime, and he ended up fumbling the ball. We just those are careless mistakes at the QB position that you don't need to be making at this juncture of the game. Obviously we at the 10, 15, 20 yard line. Obviously, it's a couple minutes left possession. We got to value our time of possession. We got to value the ball. and somehow get it into the end zone and try to, put 5 more minutes on the clock and go into overtime. But the Miami Dolphins defense, with Jalen Ramsey and Xavier Howard coming back, that secondary definitely looked more improved, definitely looked stronger, and that's what kind of been like they weak point of the season so far. It's been the defense, outside of that front four you know, with Van Geekel and
Bradley Chubb.
Bradley Chubb and everybody else on that line, was Chris Wilkins and on that line. That secondary kind of been was been a little bit weak. You having Eli Apple on the number one receiver, which is gonna be food all day. No disrespect to Eli Apple, but I watched enough tape on you just to know that you shouldn't be getting those type of matchups where you traveling and things like that. But with them coming back, you definitely can see a jump and in a rejuvenation on the defensive side of the ball. And this just week 2 with all those guys being back together. Xavier Howard, this is week 1 for him coming back. Week 2 for Jalen Ramsey. If they just can keep improving by the time the playoffs come, I think they can, maybe get a game against a Buffalo Bills team in the playoffs. I still don't think they can beat a Bengals, or Ravens, or a Chiefs in a playoff game, but I do think they can beat the Bengals. How the Bengals been looking, they've been looking a little weaker, and
The
how
Bills.
yeah, the Bills, they've been looking a little weaker, and how potent that Miami Dolphins offense is. But yeah, the Kansas City Chiefs, man, that defense, it's improving week by week, showing you new things from the linebackers, from the D line to the secondary. Trey McDuffie, he gonna be one of those top premier corners in his league for years to come. He can do a lot. He can tackle. He can play coverage. He can play man. Uh, he can do a lot of things. He can play that slot position, uh, outside leverage, inside leverage, press coverage. He was doing a lot, and he was doing it all. He was doing all those things I just listed in today's game against the best wide receiver in the league today, in Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill didn't even get 100 yards today, average 62 yards. We can live with that, and that's got to give a huge shout out to Kansas City Chiefs defense right there. They've been holding it down. But that's all I really got to say on that, man.
How about those Chiefs? That's all I got to say.
Yeah, man.
Wait, what? 72?
Yeah, 72. But I do got a question for you. Like, y'all scored 21 points in the first half. Is the offense any type of concern for you? Y'all been struggling these past few weeks in the red zone.
Hell no, because we got the bye week coming up, which that's what we've been needing. We need the bye week. We need the bye week coming up so we can get these niggas some training. I want, bro. And I was joking when I said it 4 weeks ago when we lost to whoever we lost to our second game. I was just joking, but now I'm not joking no more. Nigga, y'all need to go in that bitch and run one-on-one routes all day. Kadarius Toney, MVS, Scott Moore, G Rice, you could kind of go because he low key been hooping in his rookie year. All y'all, bro, we need somebody who can get open. Get open. Yes, it's concerning. It's concerning. Travis Kelsey, he didn't have to do much today, which I'm expecting Travis to at least give us 50 yards. So I understand he didn't do much today. He didn't have to, which that's not concerning. I understand he didn't have to. We still won, but is it concerning? Yes, because you never know who it's gonna be, which is scary. Rasheed Rice is a rookie. He's going crazy. He's scoring touchdowns. He's doing things. He's getting multiple receptions, multiple targets. He's not dropping the ball. He had a great catch where he extended full out on to keep the drive going. It's amazing. MVS, you are a vet. You play with Aaron Rodgers with the Packers. You're not doing anything. Kadarius Toney, a top ten NFL draft pick 2 years ago, ain't doing shit. Scott Moore, second year, ain't doing anything.
Yeah,
It's
he
concerning.
sold me today.
It's concerning. It's a concerning thing because I mean our defense is elite, which is that's why it's not concerning. That's why I don't make too much of a problem about it. Because again, I know if we needed it, Kelsey would have had us an extra 50 yards if he needed to get an extra 50 or 60 yards. But in our defense is elite. But it is concerning because if we need to get in the shootout, I don't know if we can. I don't know if we
Hmm
can fucking move down the field in 3 minutes no more. I don't know if we got that opportunity. McCole Hardman can't do. Nobody can get open. Is nobody open?
And that's what I was just gonna say. Me keep McCole Hardman. What did y'all trade for him again for? I think y'all traded him back because y'all needed additional punt returner, kick
Yeah,
return,
that's why.
special teams person, but he been trash so far. You can't keep returning punts inside your own 10-yard line. He did that twice today. He did it within he received it at y'all own 1 and received at y'all own 5.
That's man,
That's
shit.
not a that's not
I'd rather him do that than what I be seeing him do. Fumbling, not catching fucking punts at the 5 is crazy, and not recovering it back is crazy. Which means we just got to stop. They punted, you didn't get it, and now they got the ball again because you just didn't get the ball because you either didn't get out the way or you just couldn't secure, call fair catch and get it. I'd rather you secure. She was doing today. It was bad, but I'll take that because I didn't seen him literally like a week ago. I didn't seen this nigga McCole Hardman drop hella fucking punts. All them niggas do it. That's why we traded for him. Kadarius, he used to be back there. You see, he ain't back there no more. Quit dropping that bitch. Rasheed Rice is back there. You need to quit dropping it. Jared McKinnon was running that hoe for us for a little bit. You gonna drop the ball, bro? You shouldn't be on the field. McCole Hardman, don't know why we traded for him. Do not know why we got this nigga back. Because even on offense, not doing nothing.
definitely not.
Just running motions, seeing what the defense is running in. Like that's the only thing he's good for. Niggas and it damn, now you get me upset because niggas was supposed to be Tyreek Hill 2.0 when he fucking loved. And I was so happy on this guy. He really, really, really thought he could be nice. This nigga cannot play football. No disrespect. He can play football. This nigga cannot be a consistent wide receiver. That's what I meant to say.
And I think the last thing I'm gonna say before we conclude this episode, but with the Chiefs defense is why so such a what I'm trying to say, like such a positive sighting for y'all because like we said, the red zone that is a little bit of concern. So it's a problem for y'all. The less of explosive plays, the lack of explosive play that y'all been getting from y'all receivers, from y'all offense outside of T Kills and Isaiah Pacheco. Isaiah Pacheco, he's been a strong running back for y'all, a good weapon for y'all offensively. But outside of them two, a lot of times the offense can get stagnant once you play, you know, uh, in the playoffs. You're gonna need to be able to convert in the red zone, move the ball down the field, look for these explosive plays. And I just say in this game today, going up against a high power offense, a high potent offense, to be able to hold them to 14 points just to show you how how verified that certified that y'all defense is really is. Because a lot of times your defense can do something, but like the lack of competition won't be up there, won't be up to par where it make it look good. But this is one of those tests. Like I said, all these games today that we discussed today was good.
Measuring stick.
Yeah, good measuring sticks for teams. For Seahawks, Dolphins and Chiefs, for the Bills and Bengals. Win or lose, that's a
Yep.
Eagles, Cowboys. That's just a good measuring stick just to show you where you are, and that's a good measuring stick to show where your defense is, just to see how good our defense is for real, for real. We put it up the test. Two of the fastest wide receivers in the league, best one of the best passing attacks in the league, averaging 30 yards, the best offense in the league, points wise, and we hold
Real
them.
niggas know that didn't matter. Real ones knew. We don't care about that. We still got we made Tyreek. They don't give a fuck about what you talking about. You gonna it's gonna be what he say. He was saying some comments. He didn't have 100 yards. He didn't have a touchdown. We won the game. Tyreek. Don't forget. Don't forget. You came from Kansas City. Now you did go to Florida. You left us. You did get that bag. Come on now, Tyreek. Tua ain't Patrick Mahomes, baby.
What that mean?
Tua ain't Patrick. Hey, Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill and Patrick Mahomes had 150 yards today.
But it ain't about the game. Tyreek numbers still Tyreek numbers.
It is Tyreek numbers, but I'm talking about in a game like today, for him to back up what he was talking, he needed Patrick Mahomes. He needed a quarterback like that to give him that ball. He was covered up.
I feel like Tua did a good job. It just the y'all defense y'all secondary was very on point today.
I'm joking.
Being physical at the line of scrimmage, and all those type of things. Yeah, I like what I've seen. Especially like Trent McDuffie, he definitely. I gotta give him his praise
It's
for
about
sure, for
fucking
sure.
time, bro. It's about time.
What?
It's about time. You should have been saying that a year ago. He was doing this. When I saw this nigga hold Jamar Chase, I said, "Oh, that nigga's different." Jamar Chase, playoff, 1-on-1, no help. Rookie. That was his rookie season too. That
I
was
just
like
seen Jamar Chase get locked up today.
you did.
Hmm
Shit, I don't. You don't see it often though, do you?
Nah.
You don't. You don't.
Well, the first 3 weeks of this season, I've seen it often.
Yeah, but you don't see that shit in the playoffs either.
No.
That nigga, boy, hey, that Trent, hey, Kansas City after Patrick Mahomes, that may be our best investment right there because that nigga is he got potential to be motherfucking one of the next greatest cornerbacks. I'm
Yeah, he
telling
do
you,
got potential
he
to be a
got
top
that.
10 corner.
I love, huh?
A top 10 corner.
I'm give me top 5. Man, that man Trent McDuffie can play some football. He can cover us out. He shadow. He can motherfucking be shadow. He can with coverage, like you say, a good tackler. This nigga can do. He do everything. He can literally follow a nigga man to man, step for step, or he just sit back in coverage and then he always causes turnovers. He caused a turnover today on Tyreek. He was the one who pushed the ball out.
With that flea flicker.
It's always, yeah. He ain't flicking back. He was the one who caused that turnover. That he the one who pushed it out. It's always Trent. He made a nigga fumble a week or two ago. That man can be top 5, bro. But another guy, I want to give like to one more guy before we end because I ain't talked about him in a few weeks, and this man is on a historic pace. CJ Stroud, bro, he had a hell of a game today. 470 passing yards, 5 total touchdowns, 5 passing touchdowns, 74% completion percentage. Bro, this man as a rookie is top 5 in passing in the whole NFL, top 7 in touchdowns in the whole NFL. He literally is the least. He threw the least interceptions of all quarterbacks starting. Who, if you throwing the ball at least 100 times, that quarterback, not like the niggas who threw it once or twice, like Keenan Allen and all them. Niggas who actually play quarterback, the least amount of interceptions. Bro, this man, CJ Stroud, I expected him to be good in the NFL. What he is doing, and I saw the ending of that game of how they won, how they came back. He is turning the franchise of Houston around, bro. And I think he has potential, serious potential, to be what Justin Herbert was supposed to be. Because that's who my comparison for him is right now. Perfect arm talents. Neither of them are just mobile. They don't want to run for real. They both can get They both like throwing the deep ball. Both of them are like bigger quarterbacks who got again. They got that arm talent on them, and they are just gunslingers. That's who he got the Justin Herbert. He's on pace for 4,000 yards, 28 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. For a rookie, incredible.
2 interceptions.
He only thrown one so far. And we 9 games in.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, 2
Well,
interceptions.
that's a good pace. Yeah,
that's an amazing pace. If I don't expect him to only throw 2. He throw the ball so much, so now I don't. He probably get like 10. Which again, if he gets that much, that means the second half he just throwing them bitches out the ass. But I'm this game again, 470 yards passing. That's crazy. He almost threw for a half a band today. 30 yards away from 500 yards. Got to give my guy CJ Stroud making us Ohio State, finally making us look good and relevant in the NFL when it comes to quarterbacks. He's gonna put on. I'm telling you, he's gonna be what Justin Herbert was supposed to be. Because I think he's gonna change to Texas like Trevor Lawrence changing the Jaguars. He gonna change. They gonna. No way they should be 4-4 right fucking now. It's no way. No way he should be 500. No way. I had to just say that because he's killing right now. He's killing.
I respect it. I respect that, man. But if y'all still tuning in, man, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Y'all leave a comment. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button once again, man. Keep hitting that subscribe button, man. We trying to day by day. We trying to get closer and closer to our goal. So y'all make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Y'all keep messing with the boys. Do all that. Also follow us on all social media platforms, Instagram and TikTok. You can see our shorts, our little reels that you can see, our little clips that we post from our full episodes. You can see them on Instagram. You can find them on TikTok. We off the bench, no spaces. We off the bench, no spaces. Once again, we off the bench, no spaces. You can find that on Instagram, on TikTok, and once again, you can type that into your YouTube search bar, and me and my brother here will pop up. And y'all go ahead, leave a like, comment, subscribe once again on this video if you like this video. And we'll be back with another episode very shortly, man. And we out.